Hi everyone, our journal page, and I have already started by just gluing down this sheet of music, and you can glue down anything you want, any pages from a book or whatever you have on hand. You can stamp around. This is going to get mostly covered. I just wanted it as interest. If you've got like a printed tissue paper, also something that you can glue as a starter to your page. Even newspaper can do the trick here. So I've just glued it down with a plain white glue, and I've used a sponge brush like this, so I won't have puddles of glue that will soak into my page. And this is it. I can still feel it's like a little bit wet on the inside, so I'm not doing a lot to fix it. It just needs to dry. Now this page started by me wanting to do some collaging, and I was stuck with wanting to use this kind of colors, and not my usual palette, but I really wanted to use this, and I didn't have this shade of blue, so I had to make it. I had this grayish blue, which is very dark, and I just added white until I reached the shade I wanted. So these are the color that I'm planning to use, and I just have a vague idea what I want to have here. Now I'm going to spray on top of this just to give a little bit of color to the page. Maybe I will have to add more at a later date, but right now I'm just going to spray. These are my homemade sprays. They are from Gel Food Coloring and Water, and to my knowledge the liquid ones from the supermarkets don't work. They don't have enough pigment to be useful as sprays in this kind of thing. So just spraying and adding color to my page, and I maybe a little bit more here, and I'm just going to let this dry completely before I'm doing anything else. Now I want to make, well, let's call it painty papers. I don't have any papers in the shades that I want to use, so I need to make one. So I'm just taking book pages that I have and the colors I've made, and I want to go over them. And let's see, let's take a brush, and I want to put to dilute them a little bit with water so they won't cover completely my page, so the text will still be visible through, like this. Basically I'm creating my own pages painty papers to work with, and I'm not concerned how it looks. It's all going to be cut and worked with. It really doesn't matter, just laying down color. And I don't want it a solid color. Now I think I'm going to splatter it with one of the other colors that I'm planning to use. So I've put here some of this is antique gold, this one is orange spice, and I've got forest green here. These are decor. This is something I picked from the cheap store. So let's see, again adding water, just splattering. Very easy. Now moving this aside, taking another page. Now I'm going to go over this page with this color. Very quickly. And as I said, it really doesn't matter like this. And now I can take this color, add water, and do the same thing. Now I'm going to splatter the yellow with this green. Moving this aside, continuing to the next color, and now I'm going to use the orange spice. Basically this is it, just playing and making your own interesting painty papers to cut later to the shapes you want. I'll just do another one here on camera, let everything dry. And then when everything will be dry, I'll just come back and we continue. I'm going to do at least 2 pages of each color, so I will have enough to work with. And let's see, what splatter do I want on top of this? Let's take a little bit of the blue, I think, this grayish blue. Maybe I'll do like another page with orange but with different splatter, and then I will have a variety to work with. So again, moving this aside, I'm going to make more pages like this, wait for them to dry, and I'll be back. I'm back. So I've got this dry, I've got my painty papers to use now to do a collage, and it's going to be a very simple collage. I just want to make some pretty flowers, and well, I'm going to do it freehand, and I'm looking for a very loose look. If you like symmetrical, go and take punches or draw perfect circles. I'm just going to go with the flow. So I'm just making some kind of a circle, and now I'm going to cut it, and that's the base of my first flower. Very, very simple. Now you can go as simple as you like or as intricate as you want. You can also stencil or stamp on these painty papers. I went, as you can see, with very simple. I have the text, I have the paint, I have the splatter, and it's enough for me. Now I'm just going around with a gold Posca pen, and that's the beginning of my first flower, and I'm just going to use a glue stick very generously. Here is my first beginning of this flower, and I'm going to now, let's see what I'm going to do, just so I'll see what I'm doing. I'm going to trace the circle I've done, just so I can see what I'm doing, and do a smaller circle than this. Again, I'm taking the gold Posca pen, and now I will go like this. Yeah. Yeah, so again, just some glue from the glue stick. And of course now I'm going to cut a smaller circle from the yellow one. Yep. So very simple, very whimsical, and you can do whatever you want and play with it. And I don't quite like the orange that I've got here. It's a little bit pale, so I'll just go over it later with something. I will see what, but right now I just want to continue building more flowers, and I think let's start now with this one. I will start with the orange. Let's take this one. That's why I've made two for each color, so I will have enough to play with. And I'm keeping the green pages to do leaves. So right now I'm just using this to construct my flowers, and it's just too big, so I'm going in and I'm going to trim it. Like so. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to continue just cutting more circles for at least another for this flower and another flower, and I'll come back. I'm back. So 3 flowers, and just made to show you. This is if you go the exact symmetrical route, and these are just punched with the circle punches, so that's an option if you like symmetrical. And I done the same thing I've done to make the flowers, and just cut leaf shapes, leaf shape leaf shape from my painty paper. Now I'm just drawing some kind of stem like this, and I'm going to glue down my leaves again, just using a glue stick. Here is one, here is another, and on top of each one like so. Now I want to add some more interest and detail, and I'm going to use, this is Artline 70. It's a permanent marker. Use whatever you have, and I'm just thinking about adding some doodles to the whole thing, something like that. Especially that the gold of the Posca pen is not very noticeable, not as much as I would like. So as I said, I'm just doodling, not overthinking, just adding details. You can do whatever you want. And again, if you don't like this kind of freehand, you can use whatever you've got to make some marks and add interest to your flower. Just adding so all the pieces will be more pronounced on my page. This is really not planned, just having fun with it. Like so. Okay, so I'm going to continue adding details like this, and then I'm going to come back. I'm back. So finished doodling, and now I just want to add a little bit of shading. I'm gonna try to do it. This is an ink pad by Stamperia, and this is quite a dark green, and I'm going to use this kind of thing. It's supposed to be for a eyeshadow because it will help me go inside the small places like this. I'm also thinking of using the same to go around my page like this. Just to bring everything together. So I'm going with this underneath my shapes, but basically it's put the shading where you think you need it, or where you think it will help make everything come together and be more pronounced, more definite on your page. So now I'm just going around my edges. I feel like I have a lot of free space here, but I haven't figured out what to do about it yet. So right now I'm just concentrating on what I do want to do, and we'll see. Maybe after I will finish with the edges, it will come together, and maybe not. And then I will have to just find something to add to the page. Yeah, maybe just a little bit more like this, and I still want this part to make it more orangey. So I've got another ink pad. This is orange, also from Stamperia, And let's see, yeah, that's exactly the color that I want. And you don't have to do it like this. I just didn't want to introduce a liquidy element to my page. Just want to add a little bit of color without using any wet medium here. So now I'm thinking maybe just add a little bit of this very gently in a few places. Just so it will all come together and will be more cohesive. Yeah. So let's see, I'm taking a step back just to see if I am going to add something else, maybe just some writing, I don't know. I will take a minute and I'll come back. I'm back. So almost bought out some stamps, but decided that I want to keep it simple and that I already have a lot of detail from all this music sheet, and I just found words that I want to use on this page. This says everything has beauty, and I just inked around it with the same dark green I used for the page. So I'm just putting it here, and I think I will also go with the permanent marker around it just so it will go with the rest of this, and I'm doing it again very loosely. Yeah, maybe another, just so it will look scribbly and not symmetrical, and will go with the rest of the what I've got here. So this is it, a very simple page, and thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.